welcome back to SNHU Esports live from the Connection IT Arena. My name is Shane. I'm joined here with Connor. We got some Friday night League of Legends for you.
I am so excited, and it's really fresh in the season too with all these new players and new lineups for our team. So I'm really excited to see how they line up in the ECC, which is the league that they're playing in here for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's actually go ahead and hop into our draft here. And like you mentioned, this is ECC, so this is a different league than what we normally show here on stream. Figured we'd bring in a little bit something extra here for some chill Friday night streams. But we're getting started off with our draft already. Bands already in, and SNHU looking to make the next two picks.
Yeah, we see those bands from both sides. In collegiate, you're going to see a little bit more of like target bans towards like scouting or whatever. But from both these teams, what we're really looking at is the draft that they're going to try to pull out for the first pick phase of this draft here. So we're going to see the Caitlyn come out from Molloy, and SNHU opting for the Sejuani Ezreal, which I feel like is a pretty good choice into that Caitlyn there, especially with the Ezreal. Ezreal can play a really safe lane and give up a lot of pressure if they need be, which Caitlyn, demands a lot of
exactly.
pressure.
And I like it as well because we're not really showing too much of our hand yet. Right. Both these characters are pretty safe. You can play them in pretty much in a variety of compositions here. We'll see Molloy looking at Fiddlesticks. Ooh. That is not a character that I think we have seen in maybe a year and a half. I don't remember seeing that character at all last year.
Fiddlesticks is, he always has his place in the meta, but I feel like in a little bit more of a competitive scene, he kind of loses his touch because he plays around vision a lot. Right. So, but one thing that he can really abuse is the fact that SNHU likes to play front to back. Yeah, and he plays really well in front-to-back compositions.
Lux as well is just going to get a little bit more of that poke for their team, along with Caitlyn, just really solidifying that role, as well as just kind of rounding things out nicely. Lux is, very much a generalist pick.
Yeah, Caitlyn Lux is not a lane to sleep on either. So they're definitely going to be really pressuring in lane and demand a lot of prio, so they're going to be able to walk up to dragons or other objectives that they might want to contest with their jungler there. And then the Zilean coming out from SNHU is another interesting pick. We've seen it before, and I feel like it worked really well for us. I'm just wondering what they're going to pair with that really powerful Zilean ult that he's mostly known for, but he can always kind of play that weird choke point.
It's a little bit of foreshadowing when you see the Zilean pick, but you don't really see anyone that naturally you're like, oh, I guess it would be him. Last time it was J4 that we saw really getting a lot of the benefit there. I'm going to see potentially a Lissandra come through for SNHU Blue. Ooh. After that, Molloy's going to need to round out their composition here.
Yeah, their composition is looking pretty unkillable at this point. A little bit more CC is what I was about to say is what they need. And an Ornn with the Fiddlesticks sounds like exactly the kind of group AoE CC.
Also pretty unkillable.
Yeah. Also unkillable. But I really like the look of Zilean Ezreal thinking about it right now, because if they want to have that gank potential, they can just throw the bomb on Ezreal, he eats in, bomb him again, it's a AoE stun. So he can definitely engage pretty well for setting up ganks for Sejuani. Looking at that Lissandra lane too, another really good option for setting up ganks. Now, SNHU does have the counter pick here, so we could be looking at a top lane counter pick into this Ornn, possibly a Gwen or a Fiora. But always, you can just play for that like semi counter pick, but also really trying to play for the team. What they're trying to set up is kind of a front to back still.
Yone is going to be the final pick there for Molloy, so just even more kind of that team fight presence. He's going to mostly be the one who's in your face and actually sort of commanding that respect with his damage. We'll see SNHU Blue get to make their final pick here, and this is going to be probably the person who receives the Zilean ult, right? This is really the person they're looking to go for these dives. And it could be Renekton.
That's a pretty good choice.
That's a good choice. Good in the Ornn, good in the Zilean ult as well. I really like that pick. It's very, very aggressive.
Yeah, I like the Renekton pick. Always will respect it because I feel like he's a little bit slept on when it comes to terms of actual like respectability. People are like, oh, he's Renekton,
Yeah.
he's a lane bully, but he's like actually like decently, hard to play. Into Ornn, it's going to be a little bit different for him, I feel like, because Ornn Renekton, he has that W to try to kind of bait out your Renekton's W too as well. So you really have to time a lot of things with this matchup, but his ego straight through his W too.
Yeah,
so.
I do like you mentioned how he's hard to play because the solo queue Renektons, right? You can kind of autopilot sort of bullying people against a non-organized team, but once you're against an organized team, you really got to worry about like, okay, I need to know when to bully. Otherwise, I'm just gonna push my lane up way too far. I'm gonna get too aggressive. I'm gonna get ganked. Those are all things you got to worry about here when you're playing a team who has constant communications. And Renekton is gonna play a little bit, probably more passively, but I would say more intelligently in terms of the way that he actually chooses to apply pressure.
Right, that's a really nice way of putting it. And I think on top of that, he has like the potential for team fights and really just kind of being in the fray for a really long time. Like if you ignore him, he's definitely going to tear through the rest of your team.
Right.
But he also is not that hard to deal with. You just kind of stun him and he's not that tanky. So.
Yeah. Either way, I am pretty excited to see how these compositions clash. SNHU Blue running a pretty interesting composition. I really like how they've been running the Zillion lately.
Yeah.
They ran it earlier this week as well. And I think Sejuani is always just kind of a core, strong sort of backbone for SNHU Blue that they rely on quite a bit. So this is a pretty, standard composition with a little bit of extra spice in there. So I'm really excited to see how they play this out. We're going to throw to a quick break real quick while we wait for the spectator delay to catch up. So we'll be right back here in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome back as we're ready to go into game number 1, SNHU Blue versus Molloy in the ECC. So let's go ahead and hop into game. I am really excited to see how this draft pans out because we have had some pretty interesting picks here from SNHU, which is currently on the right side, overlay flipped, but I really want to see this Renekton.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Renekton too. It looks like SNHU is really going to play topside this game. They don't really have prospects in the bot lane into that Caitlyn Lux. It's just a really pressure lane that is going to, kind of not steamroll, but it's just hard to play into that lane. But Yone into Lissandra, both of them are pretty evenly matched up. I feel like it's a skill matchup with whether or not Yone can actually bait out Lissandra's E or even her R. Yone does have that unstoppable on his E, so that's kind of really what he's playing around, and playing around that cooldown pretty much to take these trades.
Just generally looking sort of at these teams in the early game, I want to say pretty much before we'll see team fights, pretty much pre-Dragon, which of these lanes are we really looking to sort of, are looking to find value like right off the rip?
Right off the rip, well, we're spectating one of them right now. I feel like Suki really has the reins here in the top lane. He will start to kind of push towards the Ornn right now. He needs that rage to really take these trades, but so far, Liam and Promo have been laying on the heat here in the bot lane and really been able to chunk a lot of health from Caitlyn and Lux. So Caitlyn does have that call ready, which is a little bit weird. Especially for that Caitlyn, but I think it's going to provide a lot of sustain that they're going to need to deal with the poke that Promo and Liam have been laying on so far in the lane. But a nice flash there is going to secure the first blood for Liam.
And that is going to be a lead that is going to compound pretty heavily here as bot lane starts to, they're going to get the chance to really take ahead in CS. Obviously, B15072 has been doing a pretty good job so far, but with that very early support kill, that'll give SNHU a little bit of an edge right there. Also, just talking about CS in general, in the mid lane, Toxic, what probably one of the better farmers on SNHU has been for a while, is already starting to take a little bit of a lead right there early on. But the rest of the lanes so far are pretty even. The only thing up here in the top lane is you really got to be worried about SNHU World being that low on health against Renekton.
Yes, SNHU World is looking pretty low. Renekton has the ability to really try to dive here. Looks like he's going to go for something. Has the rage up again. That grasp just chunking so much. Oh, the flash to Q. Going to save his life there. Suki just barely holding on. He's living at 80 health right now. There's no way he's going to stay in. Just a little bit more rage. He has that Q ready. A nice dodge. The Q going to heal up on the wave. Another W, the stun comes out. Suki, no way.
Sure. Yeah, all right. That was an amazing little play right there, and especially against Ornn, who really doesn't have heavy kind of sustained damage. He really struggles to output a lot, especially this early. That is going to be exactly what Renekton's looking for. He's going to be looking to toe the line on his health right there, sort of try and bait SNHU into actually playing a little bit more forward here, and we could actually see a little bit of an encounter here around Scuttle, but it looks like as that crab goes down, we'll see the Fiddlesticks just return to business as usual, although mid lane's looking a little cramped right now.
Yeah, that definitely is a nice series of events there. For SNHU. Going to provide a little bit of gold in their pockets there, up about 1k right now, partially due to the first blood, that kill, and a little bit of farm spread among the team. But Caitlyn Lux is doing what they do best and going to provide that prio and CS advantage here in the bot lane. That stun coming out just as that W ends. Nice little, I think that's just matchup knowledge there from Suki.
They are really shoved in under turret right here, and that's pretty smart from Molloy to actually go ahead and take the lead here in terms of lane priority, just because Dragon is coming up soon, and I would be pretty scared about SNHU trying to make a play for it somewhat early, and we actually see the Fiddlesticks clone is down there as well, just in case anyone decides to come down and around. But for SNHU right now, Most of them out of lane. Big opportunity for Molloy to make some money here, try and get their lanes pushed up. We'll see most people just generally trying to reset, get a little bit more cash right here, but a nice little root. Gonna catch Dragon Tempest out.
Ooh, Liam's so low right now. Promo gonna flash in there. Caitlyn using the bush is gonna get that headshot out. And Promo and Liam looking pretty low now, thanks to that ward in that little elbow there. That I think Tazo had placed is going to be a nice little ward to also catch Dragon Tempest here. They've really got to try to just play a little bit safer here in this bot lane right now. Probably give this Dragon.
I don't know if they're if really it's a smart idea for Molloy to start investing too heavily in Dragon right now. SNHU have got a pretty strong presence around the area. It looks like they are just going to try and back off. Sure, SNHU's bot lane is low, but when Dragon Tempest and Toxic are around, you really can't count on someone on your team not getting picked out. Suki trying to make play for a little bit of damage right there is going to be able to just sort of shove Steno back under turret, and that's going to be something that he's going to be doing all game. Right. He is absolutely just going to be forcing Steno to have to play very, very passive. And on Ornn, a character who already is looking to play very passive, it really just forces him to do that even more. It really it sort of inhibits his ability to make big plays here, but we'll see his ultimate come out. Suki.
Oh my god. Oh, so close. That stun also coming out at a really nice time there from Suki, but Steno World is going to be able to use that ultimate to take another kill, or sorry, not another kill, but in the mid lane here, Toxic going to get flashed on by I am Cancer. So, wait.
just connected the dots.
He got me.
No.
But that's going to be a nice pickup for Molloy there. Going to be able to probably rotate over to this Dragon now, having that mid prio, no longer really needing to be as scared of Toxic. But Toxic is going to be able to teleport back to the mid lane here, get a little bit more prio for rotating there, and Goku on this reset here is either going to have to teleport, or it looks like Fiddle is resetting too, so they're just going to be able to play their pace in tempo right now.
At the moment, I really like the way that Molloy are slowing things down right now. They're not letting anyone make any sort of early plays for the objective. They're not letting themselves get caught out at all. They're playing very slow. They're playing very safe, and they're slowly making up the lead by catching out SNHU when they get a little bit over ambitious. You know, it's really nice to think, early on, like, oh, I found a kill in the first 4 minutes. I feel like I'm pretty strong this game. But the moment that you hit about 8 minutes, right, CS can more than make up for that difference. So you start to see these leads sort of slim up a little bit, and that gives Molloy a little bit of a chance to take some unexpected wins. Although it looks like, speaking of unexpected, might see Dragon Tempest make an appearance in the top lane. We'll see if he's able to find too much of a slow. Doesn't look like he will. He's just going to back off.
Yeah, Ornn is deceptively safe there with that E. Going to be able to get out of most forms of trouble, and has that unstoppable on top of it. So really going to be able to just back out of that gank there. And like you were saying, the CS is really what we're going to be looking at here when both these teams are playing a little bit more passive and safe. Not that these lanes aren't taking risks and going at each other's throats, which they definitely are. It's just I think Fiddle just ult the top lane too. Suki looking very low, going to have to flash out of there. A nice dodge, going to be able to get out of the way of that ultimate from Ornn there, and just barely be able to hold on to his life. But like I was saying, I
think my everything froze for me right there. That was so close. You were just barely able to dodge it. But
yeah, it was just the adrenaline probably slowed down.
It was, I think so.
So we're just going to take another look at that, like a little quick replay, just flash back to that ultimate there.
Let's go and hop back into
check it out.
A little bit of a technical issue, no big deal. But now, as we see. Top lane is getting a little bit crowded up here. Suki.
Damn, he just knows that W. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it looks like he actually has a pretty good idea that Cancer is up there. We'll see Dragon Tempest also just hovering around the area if they want to try and make something happen there. Goku just, making sure that he knows that the threat is ever present, but Still not too much found yet. Both teams really just kind of want to play safe until they really find these big openings. No one's looking to find too much aggression early on, aside from maybe in the top lane, and Suki has already been punished once for getting a little bit too over ambitious.
Right. So, as I was saying, 20 CS is basically a kill.
Yeah.
So, if you're up 20 CS on your laner, you have a whole nother basic item on them, 300 gold basically. So down here in the bot lane, we're going to see a lot of gold on this Caitlyn as she just passes 100 CS. So B1 is going to be pretty powerful coming into this mid game here, and going to offer a lot of DPS for Molloy right now. It looks like Lux is going to get separated here. Also, a teleport coming out from the top lane on Molloy. Suki already going to beat him to the punch there. Steno World just a little bit slow, but Proma, Liam are pretty low right now. Looks like Steno wants to force something, but I don't know if they're ready to commit to anything right now.
Yeah, just barely alive. Actually spent the Zillion ult for that, but Proma got tagged by the Lux laser there, so that's actually what chunked him so heavily.
Did not see that one.
And that's going to force them to back off a little bit. That would have been a really great opportunity to keep the fight going, maybe try and make a play, try and get some picks, try and make a conversion into that dragon, but just didn't happen yet, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, as both teams just play very, very passively.
Yeah, it looks like Molloy was basically just kind of done with the fight there after... what is he holding that for? What a nice gentleman.
What a gentleman, yeah.
Wow.
Who says chivalry's dead?
Yeah. Very chivalrous of Suki there to hold that wave, but I would have just Q whiplashed it. I would have iron spiked it. Right there. Q iron spike.
I know. He there was so much money just in the palm of his hands, and he chose not to
This is not
take
solo Q. Yeah, these players definitely know what they're doing, and Proma, I think, is down like 1k-ish gold, so needs a little bit of gold there, and Suki being the nice guy he is, going to give Proma a little bit of that gold, maybe get that Essence Reaver he's trying to build into. Meanwhile, Caitlyn has that Storm Razor. Oh, God.
Both teams, I mean, we did see it, like SNHU were able to pick up an extra kill there. Still not too much happening right now as both teams just kind of siege turrets at the moment, just passively farming, doing some damage, poking at each other, trying to find something, but not committing to much. And this is going to be probably the name of the game until someone really finds some sort of a solid lead.
Ooh,
and this could be it.
To the rescue here, Goku trying to Q out of there. Will he get out?
Oh, he's out. Yeah, that was not it. That was not the lead there.
Ultimate.
Unless...
Oh,
you're kidding!
70.
He lived?
Oh my god.
And that's why you bring Dark Harvest.
Dark Harvest Ezra. Oh, meanwhile, he's going to hop in here with the ultimate preemptive flash with the W. A nice fiddlesticks play. God, twisted. But Goku going to... Wow. Flashy, I guess.
Still, yeah. They're hanging in there. Yeah. Molloy, they're doing just fine right now, and actually going to be looking to threaten taking this bot turret, which will be first turret for the game, unless Suki's able to pull off some kind of race up here, but unlikely to happen. And we see them really taking some aggressive positioning just to map out SNHU's jungle, and that's going to be really, really important, especially for finally closing in that grip on the dragon. Just making sure they have that vision is really going to stop SNHU from being able to interfere. This could be something. It's nothing.
Dodges it, dodges the E. He's looking. I don't think he has another E stack, though. Going to try to get that W. Is able to get the Fury off. And Steno World's pretty low, but Suki doesn't have an ultimate to really dive or fight back here. And plus, diving in Ornn is most of the time a bad idea.
Yeah, generally not something you want to commit to too often. He feels a lot more safe about it than you do. We'll see. Liam just starting to roam now, trying to just get some value elsewhere on the map. Just going to try and leave Proma to that farm, which he's got a little bit of catching up to do. Look at the CS difference building in some of these lanes.
Yeah, the CS, that Caitlyn's just going at it.
Yeah.
Built that call for a reason. Now I know why. It just has immaculate CS. So, on SNHU's side, we have Toxic here. Close second. with the 124 CS encounter.
6,200 gold on that Caitlyn.
Yeah,
Everyone else had 4K or less.
Yeah, that Caitlyn has a lot of money right now, just because of CS. But they have that Dragon 2 as well. The stun coming out from Suki. Nice little trade there. Oh, has that Conqueror. Ooh, nice dodge there. Is going to be able to just chunk a little bit more health there. I like watching these fights here in this top lane.
It's a war of attrition.
Yeah.
You know, and Ornn can just craft more health potions.
Yeah. Well, he can't craft consumables.
He can't craft. That's right. He can't craft consumables. But he still has a little bit more durability for sure.
He can build health and effectively get more health. Tazo gonna have to flash out of that one. Dragon Tempest setting something up there is gonna get rooted and take a little bit more damage there. B1 and Tazo really are a power duo to just watch out for here on the Rift right now. Gonna chunk you basically wherever you are within 100 miles of them. They have a huge pressure radius, but Suki, even bigger, going to be able to use his prio to walk down and shut down Tazo there.
Every single kill so far in this game is like you're watching someone step into like a mousetrap. You know, like they would just walk slightly a little bit too far, and then the jaws close on them, and everyone on the team just collapses on them and takes them out. That's pretty much been the name of the game so far, and that's been a lot of just sort of waiting for these perfect opportunities to show up, waiting for someone to step slightly out of line.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's a slow game, but it's a pretty calculated one, I'd say.
They are watching the pace of the game very well.
Yeah. But B1 is going to chunk Toxic there, just kind of push him off. It looks like he's just demanding so much space that I feel like they could just kind of collapse on him right now. But Steno World coming around with the flank along with the Fiddlesticks ultimate is going to be able to just chunk so much health from Suki there. The ultimate coming out there. He's airborne. Can't really do anything about that. Fiddlesticks will fall there. Tazo and B1 doing their best to try to take out Toxic here. Has the damage. The Zonias comes out. The passive. No way. Oh my god. Toxic just barely surviving there.
And that was a pretty close call there for SNHU.
Oh no.
That's rough. That is rough.
Caught him lacking there.
SNHU, they're just stuck trying to sort of catch up here to Molloy, who it doesn't, you look at the top of the screen, you're like, oh, the gold difference isn't that bad. It's about the allocation of the gold. You know, where is that money? And it's on the Caitlyn.
Yeah, that's
Caitlyn
not where you
is
want
rich right now. So you really, really need to worry about that. And that's why SNHU are really going to have a tough time, especially with their tanks, just staying alive in the middle of things. ADCs, they just shred through characters like Sejuani.
Right, and like we discussed in draft there, just the CC, there's nothing you can really do about it when Molloy, throws the Fiddlesticks ultimate and the Ornn ultimate. Like, Suki was stunned through the Zillion ultimate, right? Had half a health bar and couldn't really do anything about it. But I feel like SNHU has a chance here with their prospects in the future, such as the split from Suki, going to be able to really do some damage here. Ornn's kind of going to be a little bit unkillable and probably able to match him, but I feel like Suki's going to be crashing waves for sure, and always going to be able to roam down with this prio here. A nice little engage, but a counter engage coming out from the Fiddlesticks. Toxic going to have to ult out of there along with Suki.
Get away.
The Zillion ultimate going to come in clutch there. Liam getting ulted here by God Dennis, and that's going to be Toxic falling there. Liam just barely trying to get out. The ultimate going to be a double kill there for B1. Oh no, the Ornn ultimate coming through with the Lux. Oh man. Going to be able to secure more gold. Molloy definitely going to be happy after that play.
We're really feeling exactly how sort of squishy Renekton is right now.
Yeah.
In these team fights, he's having a hard time really staying in because he does just get poked down. And it's really hard for him to stay alive. But we'll see a nice shutdown there from Dragon Tempest. Get some of that money onto themselves. Take the Caitlyn out of the game for a little bit. Still, Molloy going to go ahead and claim the second dragon of the game.
Yeah, Dragon Tempest is going to probably be able to offer a little bit more health to his health pool there. He was pretty tanky walking into 3 people there, not taking that much. Granted, he did kill one of the people, but all he really has is that Radiant Virtue, which isn't that much of a tank item. It's kind of like a support tank item. So, surprisingly tanky. And once this Renekton gets a little bit more gold, like 1 or 2 more items, closing in on either I think it's like a Hullbreaker or a Black Cleaver. Probably a Black Cleaver for this Ornn here.
So we actually did get our dragon forecast here. Will be the Cloud Soul this game.
Dragon forecast.
Yeah. Suki actually could be in a spell of trouble right here, and he's not going to last too much longer unless he does. Just barely running on fumes. He can't find the kill onto Cancer. So Dragon close. Tempest. Looking hard. Just barely missing the ultimate right here. Is he going to be able to get over here? This is a really hard push, and he's just going to go ahead and fall back. And Liam just showing up just to harass Steno just a little bit here. But anyways, back to the dragon. Cloud Soul this game. SNHU already behind 2 dragons right now. How much are their priorities shifting?
So this is really the point of the game where SNHU should be trying to look at dragons a little bit more. They played their top side and they got their part. We're able to get a lead on Suki and everything. But now it's really when they want to be trying to secure a little bit more dragons. Oh my god, Toxic with the fancy feet, gonna be able to get that ultimate off, just barely living again on 80 health. Oh my god.
How many times has Goku gotten away just barely on the brink of death? He's getting the Zenkai boost every time.
He is. It's just unfair here. They gotta get Goku off the rift.
Whoever let Goku show up, I'm tired of it. I see this guy, he always gets away just barely alive, and then boom, Sensu Bean, he's back in the game.
What was that? Promo. Gonna take a good chunk of Liam's health there for funsies. I guess it was consensual. Liam did kind of stand still.
It was like tag.
Yeah.
You know, there's someone trying to snipe me. Got you. Got you.
Clap minus 300 health. Sorry.
That's okay. Surely Liam would never be in the direct line of fire.
Right.
Surely he'd be behind.
Surely. Yeah. No, Goku's not on the rift. Goku does not have a full screen dash and engage. No, but Liam, for the most part, is pretty safe, actually. Going to be closer to promo, probably, but close enough to, like, ult Suki and Dragon Tempest.
This is really aggressive. He's playing very forward here, and Cancer immediately going to just back right off. A little scary there. And actually, I don't even think they had vision on the other side of that bush. So, mostly just trying to mess around.
Yeah. And SNHU is going to be able to get their vision down here on this Baron, so they're not too worried about it. They have the split in the bot lane too, and Suki going to take a good chunk of his health there from Ornn, just doing Ornn things. It's kind of just what he does. He casually takes no damage and does your entire
and dashes away.
Yeah. God, we love Ornn so much.
And if you chase him, well, he just baited you into the rest of his team.
Yeah,
it happens.
Oh, ult gonna try to get out of there. Everfrost going a little bit wide. Goku just really trying to get out of here, but it looks like he blast coned into 3 other people. He has that E, but they're just gonna wait here at his blink spot. Just take him out real quick.
You hate to see it.
Yeah.
You hate to see it. Goku! Dragons up in 1 minute, so SNHU being down here, getting that vision up early is important. This whole time Baron is up as well, so the moment either side really gets a clear lead in terms of numbers, that Baron is going to be a big threat. Liam going to fall.
Yeah, I think that was a snipe with his ultimate there. Really hard to catch there, just probably caught Liam off guard there after he took two Caitlyn ultimates. What happened?
That turret has like 20 health. It's not looking good for the infrastructure of the red team.
The infrastructure.
It's crumbling. These towers not in a good position right here. And actually, I see a death squad roaming up to the top lane, and they are not very pleased with Suki's residence up here. He's going to try and back out, but that Caitlyn immediately on him. Not going to last too much longer. With Suki down, that is a lot of damage off the board for SNHU for the next 40 seconds.
Right, he's just focused on getting out of there. Had that flash up, but it's not really worth it to spend that when you know there's like 3-4 people on you. But them roaming down there is going to relieve a little bit of pressure towards the bot side, especially with, I think, Goku he did die, right? So he's on that reset. They got that wave pushed out, going to be able to crash it into the tower, get Prio, and get this dragon. Nice job from SNHU doing what they want with that third dragon. being able to get that.
That's important too, that none of them got caught out there. It took them just long enough to run back down after they took out Suki that they were able to just sneak away with it before Molloy could do all that much. You can see B1 starting to back to base. Going to pick up some more items here, give SNHU a little bit of breathing room here on the board.
Yeah, B1 is... I can't really tell what he's building right now, but I think... I don't know. I don't know. He's got wing plate, pickaxe, and phage. So, a lot of...
He sold the coal.
He did sell the coal.
Finally.
Nice. Oh, sorry. Not B1. Goku.
Oh, yeah.
But no, Caitlyn is, I think, building a Bork for Dragon Tempest and Suki. Has that little bit more of attack speed, or it might be a Bloodthirster. So a little bit more crit. Has that that LDR. So is going to be able to shred a little bit more, and I feel like that's kind of what Caitlyn struggles with sometimes. Before she's like full crit. But we're going to see that full crit just deal so much with the IV.
Yeah. It's going to be really tough to sustain fire from B1 for very long. So SNHU, I think the main issue they have right now in a lot of these team fights, they just can't collapse on the people they need to. Like B1, they are having a really hard time just getting around them and actually being able to find them away from their team. And if they have to try and push through the Ornn, that Caitlyn is already shredding your backline, right? They're shredding your entire team. It's really difficult to try and push into if you don't find something like this. And you see B1 immediately starting to walk up here, and Dragon Tempest really can't stick around.
Yeah, Dragon Tempest is going to be able to get a little bit of health off of Steno World there. Tazo also looking a little low. I think probably to Promote poke, maybe? I saw the ultimate come out, but it did not hit Tazo. But Molloy is now going to try to dance around this Baron here, possibly threatening to take it. And Toxic is going to be able to farm up a little bit in the spot lane, has that teleport ready. They're having Fiddlesticks just kind of solo it right now, which they could get away with it unnoticed. The bot lane's backing, not really looking for any of this vision right now. It's unwarded for the most part. They just cleared a little bit of vision, and yeah, Fiddlesticks is just going to be able to solo that.
That's tough. SNHU have to just sit back. They have to relax. They don't have... I mean, look at the gold lead, how heavy it's splitting right now between these two teams. They really just have to play tower defense in this time. And with the entirety of Molloy having that buff, they can split push if they really want to, but if they deathball, not a lot SNHU can do except just try and run at them.
Ouch. That Caitlyn hurts so bad. The ult coming out, and the cleanse is going to be able to get B1 far away here. The orange just dealing so much damage. The Lux Slaves are going to shred through the front line and the back line. Promo looking low. Dragon Tempest has that ultimate, but they can't really do much. Meanwhile, Goku's holding Toxic bot lane with that Baron. It's looking really tough here for SNHU to try to hold this offense right now.
I mean, Molloy has some great communication happening right now. Every time that Zilean ult comes out, they immediately cease fire. And with both Nexus turrets down, it's looking very unlikely that SNHU are going to be able to push them back. Chroma getting chunked pretty heavy. He's going to be able to flock the fountain, but Nexus just can't stay alive for long enough. And Molloy are going to take game number 1 right there. A pretty strong lead. And I think that really comes down to just how safe they played the entire time.
Right, yeah, like that last fight there where it looked pretty promising for SNHU. Molloy just was able to just backpedal perfectly with that cleanse. I'm not sure if they had the Mikhails on the Caitlyn too, but just really able to peel so hard. Got that Ornn double knock up in the ultimate. It's just really hard to get on B1, but almost got him.
Yeah, almost. It's really tough. I think that was just an issue of kind of trying to play into that composition that Molloy was running. They really had a hard time sort of finding the exact positioning they needed to really make good on a lot of the plays that they tried to go for. And that comes down to just the way, like I said, Molloy playing incredibly safe. They were never really, aside from like really early game, which they made a few mistakes, and then immediately they were like, okay, we need to shape up and play a lot tighter, and they immediately started doing that.
Yeah, and I like the way that SNHU kind of bounced back too at certain points in that game, and they really took the lead early in that game, which was pretty impressive for how the odds were kind of stacked against them in that early draft. I feel like, but they did what they wanted to. They played towards that top side, and they got the Renekton fed and everything, but. Molloy just did a really good job of keeping that Caitlyn fed and
Yeah, absolutely.
very healthy.
I really like the way they played around their entire team. I want to see if SNHU can find a way to crack this nut because things are looking pretty good for Molloy right now in the way they have been playing. We're going to take a quick break while I get ready to go into Game 2 draft. Stay here. We'll be back in just a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to see if I can get this chair to go any higher. Be right back. Hello and welcome back to SNHU Esports. We're going to go into our second game of the night, SNHU versus Molloy. Let's go ahead and hop into our second draft. Connor, how are you feeling about that first game?
So that was a really nice game from SNHU and Molloy. I enjoyed the pace of it, and I liked how they really, use their strengths to their advantages. But going into this first ban phase, we're going to see a little bit more of that kind of anti front to back, like Diana Fiddlesticks, just stuff that can really, really shred through a huge crowd. So that's what we're going to see banned out here, along with that Nyla, which is another tell that SNHU might be going for that team fight comp, and it looks like Karma. That's a really excellent start.
Slow down Molloy's pushes a lot. It's really going to stop them from being able to sort of just dictate the sort of pace of these fights as they were last game. I think the Caitlyn immediately is fantastic. They were really shining with that Caitlyn last game, and I think that keeping it going, keeping it rolling is absolutely the play until SNHU shows that they have found a kind of way to deal with it.
Yeah, the Caitlyn just did so much damage and was able to really hunker down that bot lane and be able to provide kind of that mid game that Molloy was really going for in order to secure more dragons in that Baron. I feel like partly the reason that Fiddlesticks was able to solo the Baron was because Caitlyn was also hitting it.
Yeah, 100%.
So I guess it wasn't like a solo, but Caitlyn and Lux again in the bot lane is going to be a really tough bot lane to fight against. So this Karma could either be thrown down there in the bot lane and just try to play really safe, or it could be played mid or top, I guess, too. I mean, you can play Karma basically anywhere.
Seeing Hecarim pop up here for SNHU, if they decide to lock this in, which they will, also the Nautilus coming through.
I was excited for like a Karma Sivir bot lane. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
With a Hecarim?
Every time I see the Hecarim, I'm just like, ooh, Yumi. Yeah. Like, it could happen.
Could happen. We did not see it.
It's not happening tonight. Thank you.
I think it's a little bit nerfed because of the way that the best friend passive works on Yumi. So, like, you can't just hop onto a new person and gain all the benefits that you would if you were old Yumi. So... but that Nautilus coming out is going to be able to provide a lot of engage for the bot lane and see if they can catch Molloy out like an overstep. Probably.
Look at this third pick here from Molloy. They're tripling down on the poke.
Oh my
and I
God,
think it's absolutely the play, right? They were able to really control the pace of the game last time just through their poke. And so Zoe adding even more to that is I mean, they're really heavily loading it up, but now it's time to see what their front line's going to be.
You're going to see a Udyr hover? Not a bad choice. Ooh, the Udyr coming through here for Molloy, going to be able to provide kind of just that stickiness that if these people are wailing on you, right, like the entire backline poke comp that they have going on right now, Udyr's going to be able to keep you there for, the rest of the time that Molloy needs to poke you down.
Let's see, SNHU are going to need to round out their composition now. What are we looking for? What holes need to be filled?
So... I think we can confidently say that Karma is probably going to be mid lane or top lane, and we're going to see the Nautilus Samira bot lane, which is a really nice bot lane into the Caitlyn Lux. So I feel like they kind of baited them into playing or picking against a front to back comp and then just picking something entirely different. The Karma was a really nice show of their cards, or a bluff that they're going to play that front to back, and they picked the Nautilus Samira, which really just wants to be in your face. So along with the Vex, they just kind of have that engage from basically a larger pressure circle to be able to catch people out.
And I think Vex is great in this composition because you are just going to be able to sit back and wait for an opening to really show up, and then you engage with your team. Then the Nautilus comes in, then the Samira comes in, right? I think they have so much control over the pace of their engage, and that's what they were missing last time, right? We were talking. Molloy was playing very much a sort of control composition, and SNHU are really going to try and circumvent that here. But we'll see Molloy wrap up their composition with a Malphite.
Yeah, and that's going to be kind of that last-ditch effort at, oh crap, we messed up, we gotta CC Samira.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be able to probably do that with the Malphite, but I'm not sure how much that's gonna offer for Molloy, because I mean Samira always has the option of flashing it during vital fights like a Baron fight, making sure you have that flash up for the Malphite ult. No, it's not worth it because it's a 5-minute to 40-second cooldown, but it's going to get you that fight and the result you want, which is not getting Malphite ulted during a vital fight.
I think that SNHU's composition here has the potential to sort of work around the shortcomings that they saw in the last game. So I'm excited to see how they play this. Molloy are, once again, they're doubling down on that control-focused playstyle that they had last game. So I want to see if they can manage to keep it up, or if SNHU have maybe potentially found a little bit of an opening here with their new strategy. But we are going to throw to a quick break while we get ready, or while we wait for the spectator delay. So we'll be back in just a few minutes as we go into Game 2. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to SNHU Esports. We're about to get into our second game of the night. Let's actually go ahead and hop right in. SNHU versus Molloy. First game, it didn't go so well for SNHU. Hopefully, they're looking to change things up this time.
You're going to get a good zoom in of Steno World. Not going to be able to see the 5 people invading there. I feel like that was planned.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a jump scare there for us. But Steno World going to be flashing there to try to keep his life. So not going to have flash against this Karma top for the first 5 minutes of the game. But we'll be able to just, sit back and throw those Qs. I feel like the important part is if they wanted to, they could really just send the Hecarim top there with the Karma Shield on them and have like bajillion damage and get a good lead on that Hecarim.
That's going to be something really scary if he decides to try and gank top lane here. I mean, obviously Hecarim is going to be pretty scary no matter where you look because there is a lot of squishies on the board when you look at the mid lane and the bot lane for Molloy. So Dragon Temp is really looking to try and capitalize on that, and especially with how aggressive they were playing last game. Molloy was really, really loving as much lane priority as they could get. So I think Hecarim's a great sort of play to try and keep that in check.
I feel like they have pretty good gank setup too for most of these lanes here. A nice little hook coming out from Liam, going to chunk Marbles there, spending his ignite, but Marbles is now pretty low, going to have those level ups coming through, offering a little bit more health on top of those potions that are just popped right there.
Yeah, SNHU finding these early hooks is really important. If Liam's able to make that, more of a trend, that is going to be awesome for SNHU, especially because Molloy's composition in the bot lane really wants to keep their distance. If Liam's able to find those surprise little hooks, then that could be big, but Goku finding so much damage there onto Toxic, and already it's looking like he's going to need to try and pop some of those potions to stay alive, but Dragon Tempest making a jump scare pop up in the bot lane. It's going to be Marbles down for the count.
Yeah, Marble's going to fall there. I think might have had to use that flash in that earlier gank. They're getting hooked there, or not gank, engage from Liam. So that's going to provide a little bit of tempo here for Dragon Tempest. They're going to be able to walk a little bit faster on the map with those boots in his pocket there. And now it looks like he's trying to just clear towards top lane. Might be looking at something up there. Steno World's flash is still on half cooldown, and a lot of his health is just being chunked out here by that poke from Suki.
He doesn't really have any choice but just to sit there and sort of take the harassment from Suki, and that's pretty much going to be what has to happen until he has that flash available. He doesn't have a lot of agency in that lane right now. Suki is very much the one deciding the pace, and he's deciding to push him under the turret.
Right, that root coming out there, just 5 auto attacks. Minion's going to block him a little bit there, but no worries. That's just a little bit more damage on the wave to crash another wave into Steno World, who's low on health and mana, going to have to be backed at base to recuperate from that.
I think it's pretty important as well. Just take inventory of what the CS difference in each lane looks like right now. Because about this point last game, this is what it looked like. But then we know just a few minutes later, some people really started to take the lead. Liam, just taking a glimpse.
I not see him.
Just getting a little peek. I actually don't. Yeah, I don't think he got close enough around
weird
the wall.
Terrain. Yeah, it's weird terrain. But they are going to spot Udyr resetting there towards bot side. Did not see him walk out or anything, so they can assume he's probably backed. And we're going to see Dragon Tempest head towards the bot lane now with that information. Looking pretty dark here from red side. I don't think they have that warded. They have it a little bit further warded, dodging that Q. Nice little engage there from Marble, saving that hook for B1 too as well. They might be able to pick up another kill. The Ignite goes out. A lot of damage. The Flash from Proma going to be able to pick up 2 kills here in the bot lane for SNHU.
A beautiful start coming out from SNHU. Really like the way that they're playing these ganks. And they're really punishing Molloy for just stepping a little bit too forward, too far out of line. That was the main thing that Molloy really used last game to establish so much presence, as they really had no fear when it came to just pushing in all of their lanes and forcing SNHU to sit under turret while they established vision, while they got objectives. That was a big thing in their game plan. SNHU really exploiting that here.
Right, and now with that agency that they have with that hook and the Hecarim, who's pretty good at ganking that bot lane. I feel like notoriously they are able to pick up more kills now, but the Boar Stance coming out here from the Udyr are going to be able to get that slow on Suki, going to force his flash out here. Not really much he can do anymore than that. Ooh, got a little bit zesty there. Is going to flash stun him. Has a little bit of damage. Does he have enough to finish it? He doesn't. Suki's going to be able to get him there. The flash Q coming out from Stunner World to balance things out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, pretty even there in the top lane, both sides getting a kill, but the really important thing is that Dragon Tempest already has a kill on the board. He's not down anything, and he's finding value down here in the bot lane. B1 up for execution.
Another kill for Proma. Nice. That's exactly what I was thinking, is what you were saying there. Like, while I Am Cancer is making plays in that top lane there, Dragon Tempest is, setting his sights elsewhere, going to be able to make plays on the other side of the map and be able to get a lot more gold on these important people like Samira, right, rather than the Malphite or Karma.
He's consistently finding value in the bot lane, right? 5 of SNHU has 5 kills, 4 of those are the bot laners.
Yeah, and I think this might be one of the adaptations that they're making from last game, is they noticed that they really want to play this Caitlyn Lux, so they're just going to let them play that engage, and just continue to just spam gank the bot lane, since I feel like there's not a lot of peel they have for Hecarim, right? A Hecarim Nautilus, Hecarim's too fast to really hit with that Lux Q, so...
We'll see, as SNHU, an important thing to note as well, SNHU found the first dragon about 2 minutes ago, and that is a really big change of pace.
Oh my god.
From the last game, where no one got a first dragon until about 10, 11 minutes, right? So really, really shaking things up here. And then poor Steno, he just can't catch a break in the top lane.
Yeah, he's walking through the whole wave here to try to just get a little bit of damage on Suki here, but just a poke after root coming out here from Suki.
Oh no.
A dive. Oh, he has the R. He might have to R out here. Does R a little bit too early there. Dragon Tempest doesn't have aggro. Going to be able to pick up that kill there for himself. And that's another kill in SNHU's bank there.
Dragon Tempest involved personally in the death of 5 members of Molloy. Really, really big value off of that. And we will actually lose Liam down in the bot lane. Cancer going to roam down to pick that one up. And that's important. That's his first kill for himself.
Wait,
on
was
the
that
board.
insight or just vision? Oh, that was vision. He walked on that ward and saw him going into the jungle. Goku. Oh, looking at Toxic here. Oh, the nice move from Toxic. The Flash W going to be able to pick up that kill on Marbles, and he's living. He just turned a terrible situation into a great one for them. Is going to fall there eventually, but now Proma is the one who's going to have to run away here. That Udyr is just so fast. Going to be able to get out of there. Hex Flash coming through. The Drowsy comes out. Goku not going to really look at anything, but what a nice play there. The ult coming out from Dragon Tempest, really turning things around here. SNHU is here and they mean business.
I love the way Dragon Tempest is playing right now. He is so much more in his element. Love to see what he's doing. I mean, just the Hecarim in general, I think, is so great at catching out both Caitlyn and Lux. And those were the big problem players in last game. That bot lane just got way out of control, and the story is completely different so far. I told you guys, take inventory of the CS difference a few minutes ago. Look now, pretty even still. A few leads here and there, but nothing crazy. That is not the way last game went. Last game, there were some crazy CS leads from Molloy in some of their lanes, and that is not the case yet.
Yeah, and we're going to see a little bit of a trend throughout most of these lanes. We have a bounty on Samira, we have a bounty on Hecarim, both of them just farming out of their mind and also being able to participate in most of the kills around the map here. Dragon Tempest coming in again. Stunner World gonna have to just ult out of there using that unstoppable to dodge the Hecarim.
And taking a little bit of tax off the wave as well, of course. Got to make sure it was worth it.
Right, and being able to push in that wave too is going to let them place that Herald there, get a lot of gold again on Dragon Tempest. And Suki wouldn't mind a little bit of that too. The RW is going to come out there. A lot of sustainability for Suki, going to be able to take down Steno World. And, you know, Dragon Tempest just looking really beefy right now.
Cancer's rolling up here. He's trying to defend the turret, but just getting chunked so much from Suki. The poke underneath the turret is so hard to avoid, and he's going to get a good bit of that health back, but now looking very, very low. I'd be extremely scared of staying around Dragon Tempest at the moment, especially when you fall that low. It just can't happen. You can't get away.
The mid laners are here. Goku going to try to pick up this bounty here. That's a big shutdown there for Goku, and that is going to be a little bit scary here in the mid lane because I feel like Goku has been pretty even here with Toxic, shoving him under turret, only dropping a little bit of CS, going to be able to get that back now, and now I think he's around 800 gold up on Toxic.
Yeah, he got a pretty nice chunk of change off of that. Molloy, you know, they're finding these picks where they can, and the picks that they do get are important. Finding that bounty,
what a bubble.
Really huge. And yeah, that's going to be some free damage there. Actually, not all that much. And
nicely
Toxic,
played from both of them there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Toxic misses the ultimate there. We'll get a thumbs up in his face in response to that, but
it happens. Nice dodge. It was a nice dodge from Goku. They're going to be able to secure the scuttle. We see Steno actually walking down here. Toxic getting a little bit cocky. The teleport coming out here. The ult going to be able to stun Toxic there and just not shut him down, just deny him a lot of these creeps. Actually, he got most of them.
I mean, it's
just another kill, I guess.
Really nice coordination that Goku was able to show up in time to get that kill. You know, keep the money in the lane. And Goku's going to be able to just sort of snowball on his own, even without that. Getting the bounty money, and getting the money from that kill, just going to let him become an independently stronger member of the team.
Right, and they are going to give up that turret in the top lane, I think partially due to that Rift Herald, but I like the insight that Steno World is like, you know, this Karma isn't really going to do that much if I just leave her alone.
Yeah.
So why don't I just walk mid and ult and get a little bit more of our fingers in this game, I guess.
The difference in cash in the mid lane. Zoe has 52,000 or 5,200, sorry, and Toxic has 4,400.
Yeah,
so that is a pretty big difference.
Something to watch out here going into this mid game because Zoe around these objectives is so scary, especially when you have squishier people. But I mean, Proma has that W to really react to it, but you don't really want to be using that as just a way to safeguard your life, I guess.
Seeing something scary brewing in the bot lane right now. Dragon Tempest sits close, but so does Cancer.
Yes,
just barely out of vision. We'll see. Ready on the counter gank if they decide to go for it, and the pop-up comes through. Cancer arrives. Dragon Tempest going to cleave through the entire team, and that's Lux down. B1 not long for this world, trying to escape, but just barely on a sliver of health, does stay alive. Cancer will fall, but in exchange, SNHU are going to lose Proma in that fight. A little bit unfortunate there, but he is 4-1. That is still a pretty decent scoreline there.
Suki gets out? There's no way he uses that RW. The sustainability is going to be shut down there before he can take Steno World. That is just kind of the power that we're looking at from Karma. I know I slept on Karma earlier. Like, they're not going to do that much, but they definitely are able to, you know, make their presence be known.
Yeah, this is Molloy really are starting to stabilize themselves in a big way, and that is so important for them. SNHU, you look at the first 12 minutes of this game, it almost looks like they're starting to run away with it, but Molloy have found a lot of nice little pickups that have allowed them to really sort of keep themselves in the game for a good bit. We'll see SNHU start to pivot up towards that Rift Herald, taking it right from under the nose of Cancer, and that ward will actually spot them out. So They know this is happening, and they're actually going to start to roam up here. If they're able to find another pick onto Dragon Tempest and get the Rift Herald, that could be huge. But Suki is here to try and disrupt this invade into the Rift Herald pit. We'll see. Toxic also arriving. Cancer just getting burned down so fast. Goku trying to escape. He can't. Toxic finds another kill. The snipe doesn't find it, and that's going to be a Rift Herald going over towards SNHU.
Yeah, nice little gold pick up there, and also a lot of pressure around the map where Dragon Tempest is not that there wasn't any before. There's just a really imminent danger of him just plowing through multiple towers now. And it looks like they're going to try to spend it right now. Suki's holding on. The ult is going to come out from Dragon Tempest. Crazy damage.
No one got the chance to even touch Suki right there. He was so low on health, but he knew exactly where he needed to be to avoid that. Cancer roaming up, and Suki isn't even afraid. He's just looking to try and delay him as much as he can while the Rift Herald does some damage to the turret. Dragon Tempest down here could get caught out, but Cancer suddenly looking like the one on the other end of the barrel, but he is going to be able to escape.
Flashing with his tail between his legs out of there is going to be able to get out. But that was a nice little bait set up there from SNHU, walking into his jungle, acting like they had all his camp secured and everything, maybe trying to contest that, and boom, 4 people in your face.
Dragon's up in a minute and a half. People are going to be starting to look to posture over that way. Suki needs to escape, and he can't. Just spending the 2 ults right there to ensure that he will be down for the next 30 seconds. Still up in time to contest the next objective, but potentially Molloy could try and push for this mid turret. And with objective bounties up, this could be pretty big, especially if they find something on the Dragon Tempest here who is able to turn that around. Put a burst of damage, and here comes Toxic. Marbles next up on the chopping blocks, a double kill, and here comes the reset. B1 not gonna last too much longer. 3 quick kills in succession for SNHU. 20-8 is your scoreline right now. SNHU are looking crazy strong.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Their pressure circle is just really big. You might think that one player is out of line here, but you know, Toxic walking back to lane is going to be able to get there just so quick if he is able to land his ultimate there. So going to be able to just be there to the rescue and turn what would have been just a 1 kill into 3 there for Molloy, like quote unquote stepping up, right? Like they were just trying to pick someone.
In Dragon Tempest, you know, you see him all on his lonesome. You're like, okay, maybe that kind of looks like a juicy Hecarim, right? Maybe we could just quickly roll up and pick him out. Yeah, he's 9-1, by the way.
Yeah,
like I guess he would have been like 7-1 before that whole incident, but still, that is, I mean, he just did so much damage when he actually had the chance to turn around and do that burst.
Yeah, he doesn't have that much health or resistances, but with that lethality and Spear of Shojin is just so much damage when he gets those Qs ramped up. So they are going to be able to use all this pressure, get another dragon. They are on Soul Point now with a 7k gold lead, 20-8. It's not looking that good for Molloy right now. A nice little ultimate, going to get that max here. There's just taking him down. The flash Q coming out, going to be able to secure B1 there. Steno World is next, going to take out most of his health. On the side lane, Goku.
No!
Oh, Toxic going to be able to get Goku there, and they are threatening to take this inhibitor turret now. What a hook that hit! There's no way they're going to be able to take out Cancer there, and now definitely going to be able to fall this inhibitor.
Unfortunately, Molloy's bot lane is coming up soon. Otherwise, I would say this looks like a really game-winning position. But they might be able to just stop them just enough. But both those ultimates don't do all that much. A lot of damage going on to B1, forcing him back. SNHU can choose to just back off here, especially with the rest of Molloy about to come back up. No sense in continuing to push the envelope further, but they will be able to get a good bit of vision down in Molloy's jungle. And with Baron coming up in 35 seconds, this vision is going to be really important. Just keeping tabs on where everyone is. And, ooh, oh no.
Uh-oh.
They better not walk out here. Oh, no. Marvels and B1 are just deleted again.
Poor bot lane. Oh, my God. They didn't even step past their tier 2 there. Well, I mean, it wasn't there, but like, that's not even that far.
Yeah, they just stepped out of their house, and it was a tragedy. What happened to them? A whole group just walked up on them and took them out, and they're gone. And Baron's up now.
Now they're in the
SNHU.
headlines, and SNHU is just making way with their Baron here. That's going to be really tough for Molloy to deal with here in about 3 minutes. SNHU might be knocking on the door of their Nexus.
It's looking likely. So far, SNHU, I mean, 4 people on their team have bounties right now. There has been a pretty decent amount of time since someone on SNHU really died. Like, it's been a while. They are seeming pretty invincible right now. Maybe Molloy can try and put a crack in that armor that they have, but we'll see. We'll see. They're starting to make their way up towards the top lane here, and if I'm Marbles in B1, I'm getting flashbacks standing this close. I'm just saying Dragon Dove is going to be right below them. They don't know.
Yeah, they're going to need backup here. Cancer coming in, going to be able to get that one ward out, but they don't really have that much vision on the rest of SNHU here. Just going to try to play pretty safe, checking what they can and getting their wards out, while SNHU just takes basically a free recall. And I think they are either starting to just try to pressure mid or mid bot here. That tier 2 is standing there on that bot lane, so they could be able to pick that up.
I really want to know, Molloy has objective bounties, but they haven't been able to find a single turret. They have not been able to cash out any of these bounties yet, and it's causing this gold lead of 11k to just escalate even more. They need to actually make good on these bounties before SNHU start to really, really threaten them here. And I mean, not that they're not already. Suki just showing up is enough to make Marbles and Cancer start to back up with the threat of his team behind him. And now we'll see Molloy trying to get a measured response here as SNHU start marching up the bot lane.
Yeah, they are going to be able to pressure the spot lane here. Use those cannons to their advantage here. A nice little sleep going on Suki. The ult coming out. Liam going to be able to block that one. Get Suki out of danger there. And I think they've effectively shut down their offense here for SNHU.
Molloy, yeah, good stabilization right there, but another wave coming up. We do have Suki recalling there, but we'll see if they're able to really find too much damage.
Oh, they turned it.
That's
nice
so bad from Molloy.
Yeah, the flash coming out there teleport coming out there from Suki. Oh my god, a nice engage, so much damage, and that's the cleanup crew. They're gonna be able to secure this game, bringing it to 1-1. We're going to game 3 here for SNHU.
What a crazy change of pace, a complete reversal by SNHU in this game. Hopefully they're able to keep that steam up going into the 3rd game, because Molloy were looking really strong in that first game, and SNHU have completely turned the game on its head.
It's very scary what we saw here tonight.
Yes, it is. It is.
I'm scared for both teams right now, equally. Like, both of these teams just going head-to-head right now, and I can't wait to see. I mean, Molloy has to have something up their sleeve, right?
We'll see.
There's something that they're holding back on.
I want to see them adjust their bot lane, right? Because they ran the Caitlyn Lux again because it worked really great for them last time. I want to see if they continue to run it or if they just completely, sort of turn pages, because their playbook this game generally was not that much different from their first game.
Right.
They were like, hey, let's just run it again. Let's just see if it works the second time.
It seems like SNHU kind of cracked the code there with that bot lane, just being able to completely shut it down. And I feel like part of that is due to their draft there, where they were able to kind of bait that front to back, make them pick into it, even though it's just first round. But still, they played really well into that draft and were able to pick up a really favorable composition that they worked, incredibly with.
Yeah, really incredible game there for SNHU. Hopefully Molloy can find a way to clap back in game number 3. We're going to take a quick break while we get ready to get there, but we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay tuned for the conclusion of this set. Hello and welcome back as we're in the draft for the third game of the set. Yeah, already. SNHU Blue just fired back with a game of their own after Molloy took the first. Molloy looking to change things up here, hopefully, as we go into the third game.
Yeah, and it looks like they're already trying to switch things up here. The Senna coming out to Molloy this time. Well, not this time, but Lux coming out to SNHU now.
Yeah.
And the Hecarim also going to be a staple here. They're going to pick that Karma out from them too. So this is definitely an interesting composition so far coming out from Molloy. They really could go either way. They could kind of go with that poke, or they could go with that front to back that really works well with the Karma. The Senna in the back line isn't that bad either, but the Karma is going to be a definite lock in there from Molloy. So I'm wondering if that's going to be like Karma Senna bot lane, or what's going on with the Karma? Where is it going? Because it can really go anywhere.
I like the Karma pick from Molloy because for SNHU it worked great last time. It looks like it won't be Karma top this time. So we're seeing Ornn back in the game, and I think that is a pretty good choice. That kind of control that it provides, and just like getting that sort of massive CC in team fights, really, really pivotal for Molloy in the first game they played, and they notably did not play it in the second game. So that could potentially be something they're looking to try and reinstate. They're like, okay, that might have been a little bit of one of our weak points here, is not sort of relying on that Ornn, but a Jace playing into the Ornn. How do we feel about that?
That is definitely an interesting matchup. I don't know if Jace really wins that, but I guess we'll see. In the early game, I feel like Jace has a little bit of an advantage with those ranged autos.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to poke Ornn a little bit, but I feel like while having Prio, he might be a little bit of a target for ganks, potentially.
That could be, and he doesn't have a lot of ways to really sort of escape if someone fast wants to show up. But hopefully, Hecarim will be the one getting most of the surprise ganks for SNHU. Right? Dragon Tempest is really on his A game there. I'm actually really surprised that Molloy didn't ban out Hecarim.
Yeah, that is actually kind of surprising. We're gonna see that Nocturne ban instead of Hecarim, which is a little bit weird, but might have been a scouting ban or a target ban.
Yeah,
probably.
I think that's what it is that a lot of the bans that Molloy and SNHU are kind of fielding here are more so going for those comfort bans, either characters that they don't want to play against that they know are in SNHU's pool, or specifically banning out champs that SNHU specialize in, which looking at the Xerath is a character that we've seen a few times already this semester, so not crazy surprising to see that one taken out. But the Caitlyn ban from Molloy is interesting. That is typically what they have been using.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they were thinking that SNHU was going to pick that Caitlyn with a Lux, maybe.
Give them a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, definitely was a pretty good option for SNHU, I feel like. But they definitely have other cards up their sleeve here. They have that Vex that they're going to show again, which I feel like works really well with the Hecarim, and now with the Lux on top, might be another hidden layer of that too, with the kind of like more, not global presence, but just, a general bigger presence on the map.
Really being able to back up people is a great thing for Vex, and especially when you have characters like Hecarim who are able to really force movement in a certain direction, makes it very easy for Vex to line up those skilled shots. Right. Hecarim just, you see him start pushing in a direction, and you just shoot where you know they're going to end up. Molloy looking for the Gwen. That's interesting.
That is...
Where does that fit in here?
Very interesting. I don't know, I'm lost.
I'm a little stumped here.
I don't know where the Gwen goes. It might go in the mid lane. Karma Senna bot lane, perhaps. Jungle.
Nico.
Could be Nico jungle. I don't know what composition we're looking at anymore.
They are balling right now. Is what is happening right now. This one's for the Nico fans at home.
Yeah, we're gonna see some Nico today. That's interesting. The Nico could potentially be jungle or mid. Jungle would be kind of scary. Her ganks are definitely unexpected. She can walk in with those waves, and you got to kind of count those minions to try to figure out if she's actually in your lane or not. But I'm kind of more interested if that's a Gwen jungle or a Gwen mid lane, because I don't think I mean, Gwen jungle fits a lot more.
Yeah,
than mid lane.
this is just like a puzzle. I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out like who fits where, what exactly they're going for. I think it really feels like Molloy have said, hey, just play what you think works. Like play what you're comfortable with, play what you have fun with, and just try and go back to sort of basics. Because maybe they feel like they've been getting caught up a little bit in the last game.
Might be a little bit toxic,
yeah.
but they said pointed to their teammate on the set. Point at a champion.
Yeah, give me
Just
the random.
randomly close your eyes, point at one of my champions, and they went.
Pick
Boom.
the
I
champ,
want that one.
Pick the champ you have the most skins for.
Yeah. Sort by skin count.
Yeah. So hey, I'm excited to see it. I'm always up for weird, wacky compositions. That's one of the best part about watching collegiate League of Legends, in my opinion, is you get to see a Gwen, Nico, Ornn, Karma, Senna composition, and you just have to figure it out.
I don't think I've ever heard that said before. That's the first time I'm ever hearing that.
You know what? I'm excited to see it. So I'm absolutely ready for this third game to resolve. But we're going to have to go ahead and throw to a quick break while we wait for the spectator delay to catch up in the name of integrity. So we'll be back in just a few minutes for the conclusion of this set. And it's looking like a little bit of a wild card. So definitely going to be a fun and exciting match. Stay tuned.
Wow.
Hello and welcome back. We're just about to go into game number 3, SNHU versus Molloy. This has been really back and forth. SNHU, losing pretty hard in the first game, and then Molloy losing pretty hard in the second game. So
yeah, it was definitely Snoop favorite scoreline last game.
Let's go and hop into game number 3. This is really a toss-up in terms of who this goes to, but for Molloy, really interesting team composition here, and already forcing that flash out of the Senna for Molloy.
Yeah, that was a nice little invade there, walking through this river here, not going to get caught out by anyone, and they did manage to get that ward over onto the red buff of SNHU. So we're going to see the Nico in the mid lane doing our little dance
Hearing
there.
The whoop whoops. Whoop, whoop. I'm about it.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm about it. Go off. This is the composition from Molloy here is awesome.
Yeah, I
think it is absolutely not what we expected when we came in here and sat down tonight, but I am about it.
Yeah, I like the Nico pick because I feel like Nico has pretty good potential and competitive with the deception of being other champions on your team, but B1. Oh my god, the damage from the Karma and the Q. That was such a good combo there from B1 and Marbles, just showing them that they mean business here. And just because they're Karma Senna, they're they're not lacking in the damage department there.
That's something they really got to worry about, especially because SNHU, it's that kind of thing. You just came off of a game where you won. It can be easy to get kind of caught up in that and kind of underestimate your opponents, especially with how strong bot lane went in SNHU's favor.
Is this a tactic? They have double support item. Is that what they want?
They do.
Is that a thing?
That is interesting.
I don't know if that's a thing. I think Senna has to sell that. But I guess they're getting a little bit of early gold. Maybe they're just going to
I know there was a period of time where double support was kind of a thing.
Yeah, but they nerfed it because you can't get minions anymore with the support item. So, but I think Senna is pretty okay without it, anyways. So maybe they're just both gonna try to farm a little bit. Ooh. And that was a nice engage there with a nice root. Proma and Liam gonna be able to pick up a kill on B1 there.
Marbles get away?
Falling.
Barely.
Yeah. Was that that was PTA damage. Yeah, I thought that was Conqueror damage coming through, but Promo with that PTA has a pretty good early game into this bot lane. I feel like that's probably the rune to pick there for Ezreal into this certain matchup.
Yeah, SNHU so far, bot lane seems to be finding some value all by themselves, so don't have to worry about that too much, but once Dragon Tempest really comes into play, that's when you're going to see these really fast ganks come out, and that was a really, really big winning factor for SNHU in the last game, was how effective the Hecarim ganks were.
Yeah, the Hecarim ganks just coming through back to back, going to be able to shut down that bot lane here. And I'm wondering where he's going to try to shift his attention to this game. Right now, it looks like he's just going to pick up that crab, spot Marbles for a second. Looks like the bot lane is going to try to walk up here. The mid lane does have the opportunity to rotate, but there's not really anything to kind of go on here. The objective, or quote-unquote objective, the Scuttle Crab is down now, so...
Yeah, and it's going to be Molloy who are once again just going back to that, establishing lane priority, clearing out the wave pretty quick, and just trying to shove SNHU under their own turret, at least on the bot lane. In the top lane, that seems to be maybe a little bit of the opposite, but it could be working against Suki here in just a second as Cancer arrives, finding a little bit of damage right there, but forcing him back, and Suki holds his ground pretty well.
Right, and... It is that Gwen jungle, a little off meta, but definitely able to work and do her thing. I kind of remember when Gwen came out, it was kind of pretty popular, but I think some changes went out and she might have been taken out of the jungle favor a little bit more towards top lane. Definitely still viable.
Yeah, we'll see. It's definitely, I'm all about the unorthodox picks, but Bromley, just getting away with a little bit of damage being taken there. Everyone in the bot lane is pretty squishy right now. There's not really any tanks down here, and that could be a little bit of a problem. The only thing you got to worry about is that Karma Shield, giving someone just a sudden burst of health. Suki getting a little scrappy up there, a little bit dangerous. Sure, he's not feeling too comfortable.
Yeah, I feel like Suki really excels in that kind of like range to melee top kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like not specifically like Suki the player, but I feel like Jace
Yes.
like does excel into Ornn that way. So I feel like just really playing around that is the best option there.
Dragon Tempest in the bot lane.
They got a nice ward in that middle lane bush. Might be able to spot him coming out of the alcove.
They might have seen him go in. That's the thing.
Oh,
that
they
ward has
probably
been
did.
there for quite a while, and they're playing pretty far back. They're going to see him leave as well. Cancer was around in the event they really needed a counter gank, but he was pretty low.
Dragon Tempest just going to walk back to his jungle here and clear a little bit more. Cancer is just hovering down towards bot here. They do have that tribe warded, so he can't really walk through. I'm wondering if he's waiting for the wave to bounce or push and walk through these lane bushes, perhaps.
Unsure. He's just standing there. He's vibing. How
He is.
about it?
Liam is just providing a lot
it
of
easy.
pressure right now. Oh, spotted. Just gonna push this out for them, I think.
It's not really that scary for Liam and Proma right now, though. He's pretty far away, and they've both got, or at least Proma can
Ooh,
really get
nice
away
dodge.
easy. That root isn't going to get turned into too much here. Steno with a nice little ultimate. It's going to go ahead and pop Suki. We'll see him go down. Not first blood, but is the second kill of the game. Much slower game this time around. Only 2 kills so far, 7 minutes in.
Yeah, Steno really likes his Ornn here. Is going to be able to pick up that solo kill there. A nice little paycheck in his pocket there. But the bot lane here, I feel like if Cancer didn't step into that wave there and actually push it all the way to the turret there, Proma and Liam definitely could have tried to catch some kind of freeze on them and really bully them with that poke from Lux Ezreal.
Picking up the Chem Dragon here, this is going to be a nice early objective control for SNHU, and they're going to back off here. I mean, Molloy, they just had to back up out of lane. SNHU are like, hey, if you're just going to let us walk up and take it, then I guess we'll take it now. And good awareness from them to be able to do that. This objective control is really important for them. It's something they capitalized on a lot last game, but again, it really is crazy. I feel like I'm getting whiplash from how different each of these games are right now. Like, I feel like we're back almost to a kind of pace that's more like the first game of the set, which Molloy really excelled in here. But SNHU, so far, I mean, they're eking ahead slightly, but no one's really sort of taken a major lead yet.
I feel like both these teams are kind of jack of all trades kind of setup here. They are able to really just do whatever they want when it comes to compositions here. And I feel like we haven't really seen them fully utilize like both these compositions yet going into like the mid-late with these team fights, but so far in lane I feel like they're just really able to demonstrate their champion knowledge there. A nice little trade coming out there from Proma and Liam, but B1 is just going to be able to safely back up with his Wraith form there on around 400 health there.
Cancer in the area.
The flash W going to go a little bit wide, but he is able to poke him down. Just one more auto. Proma getting a little bit too close to that tower there. Marbles will be able to find a kill, and that's 2 kills now for Molloy.
We'll see. Dragon Tempest is hovering around the top lane as well, but he's not going to go for the gank. He's going to try and pick up the Rift Herald while he can. If he's going to lose a laner in the bot lane, he's going to try and make sure that something is going right down or up in the top lane. And we'll see Liam actually find a nice solo kill there, and Toxic showing up looking for Marbles, finds the flea. Gonna go ahead and finish him off right there, tying up the kill count 3-3. Both teams hovering around 15k gold, but Dragon Tempest unfortunately forced off the Rift Herald. 3 members of Molloy showing up to contest that, and they're going to be able to walk away with that token, be able to drop a Rift Herald wherever they want.
Yeah, bot got a little bit too feisty there. Is gonna give up kind of the lead that they were working with. I feel like now they're definitely on even terms here. Toxic gonna just walk at Goku here, has that W ready, is able to really just fear him away. But I feel like in those long trades, Nico is deceptively strong. Having that third auto attack, just getting one or two in a single trade on anyone is just going to be a lot of unexpected damage there. The ult coming out from Toxic is going to be able to finish off Goku there. And that's a nice little solo kill there.
All of these kills are just coming out of nowhere. Suddenly, back to back. Liam needs to try and stay alive, gets the root, and Dragon Tempest is going to pull up to finish off that kill. SNHU take the lead in kills, now 6-4. It's 3-3, just like a minute ago. That is a lot of people who just died back to back and largely unrelated.
Yeah, just all around the map, there's mayhem going on, and people are getting solo kills. There's ganks going on. People are being executed to jungle camps. No, just kidding, not that one. But
it's a bloodbath.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath.
Hopefully it stays this way. I'm a big fan of seeing these two teams clash frequently. They have a tendency to try and play a little bit passive, but I really, really like when they just
nice dodge. This guy knows his horn. Just stepping up a little too much though there. Suki definitely having the hands to just fight back.
We'll see once again, SNHU have the lane very much shoved forward in the bot lane. And we'll see them start to rotate up, maybe try and establish some vision control in that tri-bush. But overall, mostly just maintaining things as they are.
Toxic definitely going to take lane priority here in this mid lane so far, though. Being up around 1,000 gold. Ooh, nice. Suki is able to E him away before he gets that brittle proc off there. But bot lane also being ahead a good amount of... good chunk of gold here against their opponent too. That Karma was a little bit slow to the party. They're playing that fasting Senna, so was a little late getting that Doran's ring rather than the Spell Thief, but are able to kind of just play a little bit safer into this lane, I feel like, and I feel like their scaling is kind of either equal or a little bit better than the Lux Ezreal.
That Rift Herald token is about, I'd say about 2/3 of the way through its timer right now, so that's going to come out soon, but could be a big gank in the bot lane. Toxic and Dragon Tempest pulling up together. They're going to take down Marbles. They're going for B1. Liam's going to be the one to find that last hit, and Goku shows up just to be the witness.
He did witness the crime there, but definitely SNHU just kind of bullying Molloy's bot lane again. I don't think their bot lane's really getting enough attention here from the rest of their team. Center World, the flash coming out there from Suki is going to be able to survive. Here's Cancer looking for the steal. Got that field there. He's going to be able to get it. That's crazy how he survived that long in the pit just because of the Gwen W.
And he's dead. The Rift Herald token... Actually, does it still count down? It does. Where does the Rift Herald spawn if he's dead?
It doesn't.
It doesn't?
It goes away. Yeah, so he's got to spawn it before that runs out. So you might just have to spawn it on
It's going to be a close call. I think he's got just barely enough time, but it's going to be tricky. We'll see. 2, 1. Okay. It will spawn in their spawn. It doesn't just get wasted, but that was... a little tricky.
Yeah.
Rift Herald, we'll see. We'll see where it decides to go. Looks like he is got a little bit of a bias towards the top lane.
Yeah. I mean, if Rift Herald were a champion, I feel like it'd be in the top lane. The top laner.
They should make it a champion. I would love that.
What, Shelly? Shelly the champion?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
Yeah. I wonder, like, if it'd like affect the map, like
Shyvana's like a dragon champion. They need a Rift Herald champion.
Shelly can turn into the Rift Herald.
That should happen.
Yeah.
I need to email Riot.
You should.
I've got a great idea for a champion.
They've probably gotten this one before. I feel like. not that it's unoriginal. It's just that's a really good idea. But it looks like a fight's breaking out here in the river here. Dragon Tempest overstepping a little bit. We're going to see those global ultimates come out to try to aid him, but that is going to be a kill on Dragon Tempest. Toxic really trying to survive here. Has that fear ready. Is able to get it off, but
he lived.
Cancer lives with the shutdown. That is a big pickup there for Molloy.
And it looks like Steno is shoving Suki in the top lane as well, and he's also going to fall. Molloy finding a few quick kills to try and even things up a little bit. They're about 2K behind in gold right now, 7-9 in terms of kills, favor of SNHU. But with two members of SNHU down right now, that's a lot of presence the Molloy have.
I like the way that Orn is up 3 kills but down 600 gold.
It's unfortunate. I mean, so far SNHU have been doing pretty good in the CS department.
Yeah, and on top of that, that Orn does have that shutdown, so if he wants to get a little bit aggressive, he can. Walking up to that turret, though, is not the best idea, I feel like, with Dragon Tempest on the map. Dragon down, and Suki being able to pick that up would be devastating, I feel like, for Molloy. Or right. Dragon Tempest, sorry.
Right now, I mean, no turrets down yet. Actually, Cancer, hold on. Showing up in the bot lane. Liam and Proma very far forward. Liam might just have to take the fall. Cancer trying to approach, has the ultimate. Going in, finds the shutdown. Gonna claim just a little bit of extra money. Proma trying to stay alive, but has to back up. Just too much damage. Even though they're both so low, couldn't finish him off.
Yeah, that was a nice little gank there from Cancer, and Goku almost being able to pick up more off of it. And it looks like Suki's really starting to take control in this top lane, which is not exactly what you want when Steno's actually appreciating Value, going from a 150 shutdown to a 200 now. So a little bit scary in Steno's shoes. I don't know, this might have been like a tactic like from Suki, perhaps. I don't know.
We'll see. With 2 players in the mid lane, though, with the lane swap coming out, Molloy looking to try and focus more on the middle of the map, but we'll see them start to move on down to try and establish some vision. They will run into Liam
in top lane. Oh no, Suki!
Suki's so low on top. No! That's so sad. But he will go down again. Orn finds his 4th kill. Now 250 gold going up.
250 and
Orn stocks are rising.
Still down 400. It's not 600 anymore. Marbles is going to be able to pick up Liam on the side though there. Now Cancer is just so fast running with that speed boost from the Wraith, is going to be able to pick up Proma too. And that's going to be pretty much Molloy in the lead now, taking over this game.
Yeah, this is suddenly a little bit of a shift right here as they take the gold lead. 3 players on their team have bounties, and I really like the Gwen pick and how it's working out for him so far. I think they've been able to find a lot of value off of that, and just the way that he's been able to, the Cancer's been able to just run people down has been great for the team.
Yeah, Cancer has just been doing work so far. We didn't really see him for those first 10 minutes, I feel like, or 12 minutes, but he's really been showing up towards this mid-game, and that might be one of the power spikes that Gwen is really good at. Hitting that level 6, level 11, or ultimate's just really, really good.